Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, the plunge protection team's in there pumping your tax money into select insider stocks right now. Market dropped 512 points yesterday, went up a little bit in early trading, then dropped over 200 points. It's since shot up 124 points since the close yesterday and is still rocketing upwards. We'll be looking at that and a host of other important news, but I want to go right back to your calls on this open line Friday. And up next is Ken in California, then Tanner, Dustry, Sheldon, Mike, and others. Welcome, Ken.
Hey, Alex. How you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm YouTube's father of my five. We have a lot of videos that kind of parallel. You were talking earlier about the recession, and it kind of gets me wondering how much of our news is actually made in Hollywood. I'm sitting here right now, and I'm looking across the way here, and there is a casino being built, and not just a little casino. This is a really nice casino being built actively right now. And as I travel around the country trying to, get ideas for videos and show things, these really expensive hotels, all the parking lots are full of cars. I mean, so I'm wondering about this recession a little, if you catch what I'm trying to...
Well, if you've lost your job, it's a depression. But if your neighbor just got a raise, it's a boom time. So these are all done in averages. Environmentalists will go out and aim a camera at San Diego's at water and say, I don't see a great white shark. Their numbers are down. But then you can look at statistics where some areas their numbers are up. Economics is in averages. And if you look at the overall averages, the economy is in a depression for the last 3 years. And we've had many economists on to break that down. Many restaurants I like to go to are out of business. Prices are up. Inflation is increasing. Food stamps, what was it, just 6-7 years ago, we had about 25 million on it. Now it's 45 million. And then there's another 5 million or so that are on supplemental. So it's almost 50 million. So those are all major numbers. But yes, there are people working for defense contractors and people working for government and people working for sectors of the economy that are good. But there's also people gambling who are in there running up credit cards or spending their sons and daughters' college fund on that. So just because a casino has its parking lot full, there's probably 50 cars out there of young 20-year-old beauty queens who can't get a job or survive on a school teacher salary or as an accountant or as a scientist. So she's in there doing sexual acts. And daddy's in there, 50-something years old, spending the kids' college funds at the casino. To say that you're seeing the economy look like it's doing great, I can take you down to a restaurant and show you every area filled because it's popular, but then I can go show you, the housing numbers or whatever. It's the economy isn't, it's kind of like this. We have more people today getting cancer than we did previously. That's not debated, or diabetes. Now, I can go show you a triathlete in perfect shape with bronze skin and six-pack stomach and say, I don't think diabetes is up in America. This guy looks great. But I can also take you to a bus stop where, a third of the people I drive by and see have had their legs cut off because of it. Again, you don't just, spot check things to then say, well, that's where the economy is. Does that answer your question, Ken?
Kind of. It's a little off, but I'm comparing what the news says compared to what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing casinos. I'm seeing something else that I'm seeing. Besides the cancer and diabetes, I can go on and on about those. Is the racial thing. As I'm traveling through California, I'm noticing a lot of churches that are talking about stop the black on black violence. I don't understand why it has to be black on black violence. Why can't it just be stop the violence? How did race get interjected into this?
I hear you. It's a great question, Ken. Let me comment on that when we come back. I appreciate your call. Then Tanner, Dustry, Sheldon, Mike, and others. We'll be right back. 800-25-99-231.
Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
We are back live. We are now 8 minutes into hour number 2. We have Bob Chapman of the International Forecaster, incredible economic analyst, joining us as he does every Friday with a little treat today, because I like to combo up our regular guest from time to time. In the second half of the interview, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former head of policy at the Treasury Department under Reagan, the father of Reaganomics, former Wall Street Journal editor, he has pointed out that raising the debt ceiling and lowering it, it's all a distraction from the derivatives and the offshoring of jobs. And so we're going to get his economic outlook with both those men together coming up today. Very excited about that. I will continue with your calls interspersed with little nuggets of news. And I just had a caller, if you just joined us, Ken in California, then we're going to Tanner, Dusty, Sheldon, Mike, and others. And by the way, the toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. And I haven't covered the subject a lot that Ken mentioned because I'm not shying away from it. I do have a problem. And that is when something's really, really complex, and I understand it, but it's hard to explain unless I spent 2 hours on it, kind of going into that public brainstorm mode where I just talk endlessly for a couple hours, and you've seen those shows happen, and then the show's over, and I've basically rattled on for a couple hours about something, hitting every different angle of it, because there's so many subjects like that. There are a lot of subjects that I need to learn the gift of just basically trying to simplify my view on it if somebody's asking my opinion. And so now I'll try to spend 2 or 3 minutes, because I want to go to your calls, on this subject. And that is black on white crime. And every time I do mention this, I get emails and stuff and calls from black folks saying, Alex, I thought, you cared about us. Why are you saying that? That isn't true. Well, I'm against 52% of black people being aborted. I don't like killing kids, okay? And at the end of the day, I don't dislike black people. But at the end of the day, I grew up in Dallas, Texas, and had a lot of black friends I was on the football team with. But I also was racially attacked, I don't know, probably 10 times, probably more, actually, by black folks. And, hey, I actually appreciate it. I mean, those are some of the best experiences of my life now. Okay? I mean, that has made me who I am today, that I have been in absolute knockdown, drag out, where I go to the hospital, they go to the hospital. That's valuable to me. My permanent black eyes are valuable. The broken leg I got in a fight's valuable. The time I got stabbed is valuable. All of it's very valuable. Because I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I've been in some hellacious fights, and it's valuable to me. I don't hate black people just because I've been racially attacked over and over again. Okay, I've had Mexicans racially attack me. 4 Mexicans. 5 technically, but only 4 were pounding on me and calling me racial names while they did it. And then I tore up a couple of them real bad, and they got scared and really hurt me even worse. They thought they had a rhinoceros on them. Because the truth is, folks, I have no strength until I'm overwhelmed. And then it's clobbering time. And that's the way it is with anybody. That's why, as a species, we're not going to be able to stand up to tyranny until things get really bad. Okay? It's real simple. And I also got my teeth loosened and my nose broken by rednecks as well. Everybody's tribal. You pull up to a bonfire at a lake, you don't know most of the people. They're tribal. Big old white guys come over wearing their Wranglers and their cowboy boots, and they're like, what are you doing here, Yankee? And they start a fight with you. And then later you learn you pulled in, and there were some Klan people there. Oh, yes, that goes on in places like East Texas. Okay? So I've been attacked by the Klan. I've been attacked by black people. I've been attacked by Mexicans. And let me tell you who I've been attacked by. I've been attacked by tribalists. It didn't matter if they were white, if they were black, if they were Mexican. I have been attacked for being an outsider by whites, pulling in a pickup truck with a girl a little too good looking. And I was a little too good looking for him at that time. I know I'm not too good looking now. And I've experienced all that. So when I hear about black people in gangs beating and robbing whites all over the U.S., I see it in the news every day, and the media tries to not say it's racial, but then there's the facts. It's horrible. It's terrible. But then do I see a black person and hate them? No. Because most black people aren't like that. And most people wearing Stetson cowboy hats aren't, you know, in some little Klan gang or something. You know, and again, most Mexicans are not looking to beat the living. I mean, I went to the hospital, folks. You know, beat the living daylights and stomp me in from in. I mean, I've had concussions. You know that I couldn't see for 2 days. Okay, yeah, well, I'm brain damaged. You better get it right. I've been hit upside the head with an axe handle. A lead pipe, the whole night, and I shouldn't even get into these stories. The point is, anybody who grew up in Dallas, folks, knows that's the culture up there. It is just absolute, you know, don't call the cops unless somebody's dead. I actually like Austin, where fighting isn't put up with. People start fights with me now. I say, yes, sir, mister, you're big and tough. Unless my family's around, and then you better watch out. But, see, I said I'd spend 2 or 3 minutes on this. How do I describe what's going on? Black people feel entitled, on average, the type of groups that are attacking folks. They feel like they've been victimized. They feel like they're the only slaves that ever were in the history of the world. They don't know history just like everybody else, on average. And they're very full of themselves, the type that attack whites. They don't see it as racist when they grab people's purses and punch old ladies in the nose and stomp on, you know, somebody calling them white cracker. Okay, do you think a Klan person, whenever they attack a black person, feels like they're being evil? No, they think they're in the right, too. Do you think a La Raza person, you know, going out engaging in racial attacks on whites? We got video of that stuff. Mecha-type people. No, they're in a war against the, you know, the devil. See, so this is going to get worse. We're a tribal country. Football, Coke, Pepsi, Ford, Chevy. I mean, that's tribalism, that people that like Ford have the little image of the guy urinating on the Chevy symbol, or vice versa. You've all seen it. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what, I'm not against tattoos. I'm not against guys with the shaved heads and the goatees, you know, that you see everywhere, black, white, Hispanic, trying to act tough. I'm scared of people that want to act tough. I'm scared of people that want to fight because they haven't been hurt bad enough yet. They haven't rolled around with somebody pushing a knife into them, okay? They haven't been there. They haven't been in the big Dallas jails. They haven't had the jail guards try to rape them. They haven't lived yet. They want to be gangster, and they don't know what it is. Okay? It's that simple. And so the culture sells that gangsterism and all this garbage is cool, and so the white kids do it, the black kids do it, you name it, they do it. And you get these welfare generation after generation of people and all over the country. Yes, it happens. I had black guys 3 years ago at the TSA make fun of me and call me names because I was white and get off on it and basically ask me if I wanted some trouble. I've told that story, and I just, you know what, I just basically, I griped at him a little bit, but just got on through the line. Because the point is that I feel sorry for those type of people. Now, if they physically do something, you got to defend yourself. But I do not sit there when a racist black person is racist towards me and hate black people because of it. Okay? Any more than I see somebody wearing Wranglers and a cowboy hat, because I've probably been in, it's pretty embarrassing, actually, how many fights I've been in. I was probably in 10 or more fights with rednecks. And I mean, I'm not bashing folks that are, you know, working the country. I'm from redneck stock myself, if you want to call it that. The point is that I'm not looking for trouble with people. Okay? And it's very sad, and it's going to get worse, because through multiculturalism, they've actually created more tribalism. It's all about what color you are, what sexual preference, what you're into, what you do. It's not about what you do. It's about how you look and what group you're in. Okay? I'm in the free humanity group who wants prosperity and to be left alone and to have a decent life. Okay? That's the group I'm in. I'm into freedom. I'm into 1776. And no matter whether you're Mexican, black, Latin American, Chinese, I don't care. You're under eugenics, New World Order attack. And yes, it is dangerous, and it's getting worse because the media all over the country, it's happening in Florida, Illinois, Wisconsin, Dallas. When blacks attack white people, the media will not call it out for what it is. And so the people doing it feel like it's okay. They feel like it's okay. They feel like that it's no big deal. And, you know, a lot of times the poorer the group, too, they'll tell you it's poor whites that end up being in the Klan most of the time. It's the same thing with blacks. Poor blacks end up being in these gangs. The prisons. Oh, that's the other big issue. What do you think the prisons are? The government segregates everybody according to race. They say because they have to, and they pretty much do, because that's just the way humans are. And then it gets worse and worse. The Aryan nations, there's so few white people left in this country and in prison. The Aryan nations now takes people who are black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, as long as their mother is white. They're like following Jewish law or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've got family in East Texas, folks. There aren't any jobs left who are jail guards. And they will tell you they've turned the air conditioning off the last few years. People that lie and say prisons have got hot tubs and cable, isn't true. Isn't true. They've turned the air conditioning off. You know, I was just talking to my dad who talked to my cousin the other day. It's like 115 degrees in the prison he works at right now, and almost everybody's quitting. And it is just a hell pit of evil. We have the biggest prison population in the world. It's a college for this. And you send a white kid, a black kid, a Hispanic kid into prison, if they don't join the racial gangs, they're dead. So, why are the blacks running around? Because most of these blacks doing this have been in juvenile hall or prison. And that's what they know. That's why they're doing this. Does that make them any less dangerous? No. They're dangerous as you know what. And this country's going to fall apart. It's been done by design. Your call's coming up. You want me to answer it? There it is.